Wake the farm up. That was a lovely cut from Carl Shine, Waiting for You. So this show, of course, you can jump around in the footnotes. Enjoy as is. Wake the farm up. Wake the farm up.
So prep your audience that all those things may happen in Costa Rica.
Yeah, there's things happening.
Like the diggy bang bang ding. That's like the diggy boom back. That's what you want to do when you go out back and you're just chilling. You want to get up and start grilling. What? Chick 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 to the rock rock rock.
Gotta raise it up. Gotta raise it up. Gotta raise it up. Gotta raise it up.
Raise it. Raise up. Raise up. Cool cat. Cool. Boop, 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 boop.
Yeah. What's up going on? We wake. We wake. We wake. We.
Oh yeah, I'm way into mushrooms. Oh my god, I love to forage.
Awesome. Hey, you all, welcome to Wake the Farm Up, Maintaining Ground podcast. Today we got a very special guest, Rebecca Wood. She's an amazing herbalist, teacher, plant worker, botanist, ethnobotanist, amazing connector of nature and people. Let's check it out. Subscribe to the show. Support Wake the Farm Up, because, you know, we're going to be doing it. We're going to be doing it all the way through. Check it out. Support. Subscribe.
We always were thrown outside on the Wood family farm. Mm-hmm. You know, plus my family camping was a weekend activity. We have 5 kids. We didn't do a lot of big vacations. It was camping at the nearest state park or private lake or something. But just ratting around the woods, really, and then finding blackberries, finding wild apples, fishing, and taking it all back, and Grandma Hopewood cooking it up, you know, or having apple peeling, you know, contests, and then making a pie, and, you know, just wild apples. So, yeah, just a lot of, you know, wow, there's a lot out here. And then the wildflowers of the spring always just, you know, oh, look at this, beautiful, and rebirth. And even when my aunt, after my granny was long gone, my aunt was getting close to being gone. She couldn't walk to the woods anymore. I'd just go pick her a little pot full and bring them down, and she'd had her names for them because everybody has different names sometimes.
Yeah.
So, trout lilies were dogtooth violets. And so I just bring her in some of her favorite spring plants, and, even just the frost on the leaves in the autumn and how beautiful it changes the colors. So early on, I was just amazed and drawn to nature. Rocks as well. I'm really into rocks. I studied a lot of geology, even though my path took me more down the plant, corridor. But
Yeah.
It's
coming alive. We did it. We got catching some crazy record there now. What's going on? We're down here with Carl McCarthy. You know the Carl McCarthy down there, the Johnny Appleseed cut. Come on, what's up? You know what to do. Wake the farm up.
DJ Andy on Constellation Radio. How do you do this evening?
It's the elves, man. There's all these little elves that run around. They do these weird things, and I just roll with it, It's like,
I was explaining to my friend the other day that one of the coolest visions I ever had was I was staring out for like 5 hours into the evening, and it was a full moon, and I saw these little mushrooms grow, and then they fucking turned into like 8 fucking story towers.
what?
Like 8-story mushrooms, and then I saw like all the fairies, and then I saw all the gnomes, and then I saw the elves, and then I realized there was a bunch of hobbit like houses in the base of these trees, and there's also like ladders, and like they're got the way to get from one tree to another. I can't remember, but yeah, I was like, I went through that whole vision with them, and I was like, yeah, whatever you want to creep, man.
Yeah, I like going to those places. The other day I went out to this oak tree that I like, and I sat down next to it, and this squirrel came up and was like, "Yo, dude, my great," and he did this special effect, like planted that tree, and I was like, "What?" And that tree's I'm like, that tree made me some pancakes, and your kids some pancakes. What are we like? Are you planting trees? And that squirrel was like, I am planting trees.
Fucking plant trees like Johnny Appleseed squirrel.
Yeah, the squirrel.
trees to ride fucking squirrel.
Yeah, what's up? What's up, squirrel friends? What's up, squirrel friends?
Yeah.
What's up, squirrel friends? What's up, squirrel friend? So funny.
Yeah,
my mind went a lot of ways really quick on that one.
Yeah, it was
What's
like
up, squirrel friend?
Yeah, so then this squirrel, it was telling me about that, and then next thing you know, I look and there's this like branch laying on the ground, and the squirrel like ran over to it, started nibbling on these like little mushrooms that were growing off of it, and then all of a sudden the squirrel like started growing really big, and I didn't know what to do, but like I just like went over there and like started eating them too.
Fuck yeah.
And then like next thing I know, the squirrel was knitting, which was crazy, absolutely crazy, because I didn't know squirrels knew about knitting because I'd never seen them wear sweaters, but it made sense because it made a cape. And next thing you know, we were like definitely like skyrocketing out there, just like there was nothing anybody could do about it.
I know there's this blue jay in this tree, and we should totally visit the blue jay. We shall learn the tales of the forest and maybe talk to our little owl wisdom keeper that we might find on the way.
He's a happy little motherfucker. Little kids. Shut the front door.
Yeah, get in there. Meow, meow. I'm a cat. I'm a kitty, wiki, wah. And I go, meow.
What?
That's kind of dope as hell, dude.
This is gonna be so fun.
You're gonna have so much fun with this thing.
Yeah.
I'm grateful that you were available to chat, man.
You gotta wake the farm up. Yeah, we're down here with Solar Punk. Archives of
Lots of love to you, brother.
All right,
Catch you
man.
soon, man.
Yeah, enjoy the new cat.
Yeah, thanks, baby.
Yeah.
All right, peace.
Peace.
Wake the farm up. Yeah, solar punk. You know, you want a chunk. It's like the cheddar coming from your best sweater. You know, you better just get ready, 'cause here it comes. The sun is coming down on you. Nothing else we can do. Here. Just having a good time. All right, good night. We'll catch you up here. We're going to see what else we get into. Maybe do a little snowboard action or something here. It's snowed a bunch outside. It's crazy. Wake the farm up. Wake the farm up. So yeah, Rowan Greene, you've been working on some incredible writings. Tell us about your Substack.
Oh, yeah. So I got this Substack going on where I'm exploring interesting lines of thought. And we're studying consciousness and emergence. And we're studying ancestral data sets and how we are the manifest prayers of all of those that came before. You know, the average Tuesday.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, no, it's like, can I get out of this? Can I get out of here?
That's just beautiful.
So if you can read all this, I know I've dug into many paragraphs of it, and you've shared some samples, of you reading it, which is actually, the most fascinating part. So, audience listeners, when this whole book piece comes together with this, check this thing out, the Substack. There's so much there.
It's Forrest's Substack. It's a wonderful place to find a good story or some social theorem. There's some economic modeling. It's kind of like a hodgepodge of all of the different corners of cognition.
Cognition. It's
the only nation that I will stand in defense of.
Along with the united forces of the undivisible oneness of the imagination. Is it good? Is it bad? It's beyond that, there's something, like I love, these concepts, symbiosis, like beyond our ego self and the existence of it all.
Superorganisms. Like hive mind.
Interwoven. So, from cellular to the mitochondria. You had some incredible writings on mitochondria early on this last 2023.
Yep, definitely the powerhouse of the cell. I think that when we find symbiosis, we can all choose to be the mitochondria.
What do you mean by that? We can all choose to be.
I mean, we are the sensor units that was devised by the Earth over millennia in order to experience the sensation of being on her crust. And that once we achieve hive mind and symbiosis on a societal level, it's going to be our job to transmute the energy that has been brought to this planet through sunlight and transformed through photosynthesis into carbon and sugar, and then allocated by the mycorrhizome to the plants so the plants could produce the fruits with the nutrients, and the bugs and the planet and the animals will eat the fruits, and the bugs and the animals will eat the bugs and the animals, and the bugs and the animals become the soil, and the mycorrhizome redistributes the nutrients and the sugars to the trees to produce the fruit to be eaten by the bugs and the animals. You ever thought that the mushrooms were selectively growing us?
In the making of your creator, in the image of your creator, lions made lions.
Which came first, the mushrooms or the man?
Yo, wake the farm up.
Wake the farm up.
He said it. He said it. You know, I love when Rowan Greene reads the poetry. You know, my brain gets like enfolded in like the shapes and dendritic patterns of nature. Like, it's a ride. It's a ride. You should definitely audiophile.
Yeah, I'm into it. I'll come on to the Wake the Farm Up show. I'll have a couple of different poems. I'll read them off for you. Maybe you guys could come on stage with me sometime.
Yeah. Love it. They like that idea.
All the people down there in the audience.
Yeah. How you guys
they
doing?
Started taking off their shirts and waving their shirts above their heads.
They're great. I love how there's always the people up in the balcony. They come in through like some kind of astral portal or something. You know, I appreciate everyone out there. You know, there's even insects that travel astrally to come and listen to the Wake the Farm Up show now from all over the world. Worms and microorganisms and different fungal spores, you know, are even like invigorated when they hear the sound of Wake the Farm Up.
Waking the farm up.
All the time, baby. Oh, yeah, here they are. We must be recording. Oh my goodness. They all just came in, like teleported in telepathically or something. How you guys doing? Welcome. We got one of my favorite teachers and friends in this elf journey of life. We got Rebecca Wood. Hey, everybody.
Hi.
How you doing, Rebecca?
I'm fabulous. How are you, Andy? Good to see you again this morning.
Oh, I'm doing really good. I'm really happy to see you. We're recording audio, but we're actually getting to see each other and talk, and this is fun. I love that.
It is fun. Hello to all your elfin listeners. So this is exciting for waking up the farm, waking up the world, you know.
Yeah. So my teacher at Hocking College, we learned, deep about plants and herbs and really got into all different realms of that. And you've been working with the United Plant Savers and all kinds of projects. You're working in projects in Costa Rica and Belize and connecting with people. And you're also doing a lot of people care work as well, which is, for me as a permaculturist, that's awesome balance to mix in all these things, working with all the different species. So, doing yoga with people, but, then in the afternoon, you're out looking at plants in detail and making plant medicine and sharing that with people. So, love to hear a little bit about that, and your journey with that and all the things that, come together for you with that.
Yeah, well, as you know, you're getting older and so am I, because we were at Hocking College together quite a long time ago. And it was a great period of my life. I was honored to be a teacher at Hocking College or a professor at Hocking College. And it really was the spark of the people. And that is one of the permaculture principles. People plant planets, people care, earth care, and share the resources. But the green spark led me this direction, and the spark of all the wonderful young people I was able to immerse myself in teaching at Hocking College. And the curriculum, how lucky were we? Mm-hmm. Outside time, inspired by the plants and the wildlife and the industry that, supported it.
Learning how to key I remember learning how to key plants out using, like counting the flower petals or looking at alternate opposite leaf patterns and, a lot of these things that really took you into looking at the details of the plants, where I feel like a lot more now we're able to learn plants by snapping a picture and then it's like, okay, that's what it is, but it takes, a different process of remembering plants than when you were keying them out or a friend keyed it
Because you're
out.
like, yeah. Well, a numbered key, keys come in a lot of forms. Numbered key is a more formal or a dichotomous key, especially when we want to be 100% accurate. Yes, I have Seek, iNaturalist, and I take a picture and it gets me close, but I want to also be able to use a dichotomous key when I need. And we can also get to know the plants by sitting with them, plant journeys by... There's color keys as well. There's habitat keys, herbals, read the stories of the plants and the history, the books and traditions of people, walking with people older than me or people from different countries as they work with the plants. And many of those plants are the same. That's pretty exciting.
Mm-hmm.
When I really just travel the Americas, mostly Central and, North America. But it's fun to know that there's, Pan-American plants, good old plantain is right outside on the street side, and elderberry, and probably 15 to 20 very common plant, if not the same species, same genus, and just slightly different species here. So it's like, oh, my buddies are here too.
Yeah. I
Plus all the new.
I remember that feeling being in like the Sonoran Desert near Tucson and seeing some lamb's quarters. The way they grew, they adapt to the different humidities. So they looked very different, but when I looked close at it, every bit of it, I knew exactly who it was. And I was like, wow, there you are, friend. Look at you.
Yeah. We got dinner. We got, cooling if we get burn. So that's great. Yeah, I love that you're also from Indiana, as I'm a Hoosier too.
Yeah.
And I got there that wonderful weekend at that plant workshop you put together. Gosh, that's been 5-6 years ago now, but wonderful people in Hoosierville.
Yeah, Hoosierville.
Hoosierville. But how lucky are we to have this much time enmeshed with plants, trees, shrubs, herbs. They just seem to draw us, don't they?
Mm-hmm. I don't know if I've really, I'm like imagining you on this journey. Like, what's a really early memory of connecting with plants that you have?
We always were thrown outside on the Wood family farm.
Mm-hmm.
Plus my family camping was a weekend activity. We have 5 kids. We didn't do a lot of big vacations. It was camping at the nearest state park or private lake or something. But just ratting around the woods, really, and then finding blackberries, finding wild apples, fishing, and taking it all back. And Grandma Hopewood cooking it up, or having apple peeling, contests, and then making a pie, and just wild apples. So just a lot of, wow, there's a lot out here, and then the wildflowers of the spring always just, oh, look at this, beautiful, and rebirth. And even when my aunt, after my granny was long gone, my aunt was getting close to being gone. She couldn't walk to the woods anymore. I'd just go pick her a little putful and bring them down, and she'd had her names for them because everybody has different names sometimes.
Yeah.
So, trout lilies were dogtooth violets. And so I just bring her in some of her favorite spring plants, and, even just the frost on the leaves in the autumn and how beautiful it changes the colors. So early on, I was just amazed and drawn to nature. Rocks as well. I'm really into rocks. I studied a lot of geology, even though my path took me more down the plant, corridor. But yeah,
cool. Rocks,
yeah.
That's for sure. I love those timeless things. Those little spaces where you're looking at trees, rocks, sky. It's amazing.
It's all part of the portal.
Yeah. So you
very
mentioned your did you say Grandma Hopewood?
Yeah, Hopewood was her name, and that is the name of my business, Hopewood
Right.
Holistic Health.
That's what I was.
So it's dedicated to her,
Sweet.
for being the one
Yeah.
got sent it there. Get out of her hair, I think. But she also did the people care part. She gave you chores, you had to do them. She said, get out and play, explore, but also be a good neighbor, be responsible.
Mm-hmm.
Here's your court ticket to church. Well, it was a dime back then, but so and we had a little wood grocery store, the Wood family grocery store, and we all worked there as kids in the summers, and mostly stole candy out of the candy case, but she'd always be putting some extra things in if she knew a family needed something, and we'd help with delivery. Delivery used to be on Billy the horse in a wagon, and then it was Grandpa in the station wagon with all his grandkids.
Oh, that's so neat.
Do the deliveries, yeah. That was fun.
Yeah, I love the name Hopewood, in our, Wake the Farm Up theme. We love the idea of Hope's Day preppers, and, Hope would, be the name of your grandma, and Hope would be, the name of your business. Like, you've given a lot of hope to people just by the liberation of sharing about plants. And like, I can only imagine you've taught a lot of people. Do you have any idea? I mean, we don't have to do numbers, but like a good feel of amazing, authentic connections with people and teaching with people in that way that have provided them so much liberation and, trajectory, even perhaps. I know for me, I definitely gained a lot of trajectory in the times that I was working and going to that level of plants of, people like to use the word alchemy or something, playfully, but, we weren't making gold literally, but, ultimately, yeah.
Yeah, I think green is gold. Nature's first green is gold. If you listen to the poem, that's a great spring poem. I love that.
What is
Nature's
that poem?
first green. Nature's first green is gold. Robert Frost, I believe. It's hardest year to hold, but only for an hour. I'll have to think about it, but I'll get back with you on the whole thing. But it's one I always do every spring because it's just so appropriate. It changes so quick. But I mean, it is gold. It gives us freedom. It gives us money. It gives us exchange. It gives us food. It nurtures us. It heals us. So that's pretty powerful as gold, as a gold standard.
Right.
Builds our homes if we choose it to, makes our furniture lovely and beautiful.
Yeah, like it's almost like if we called them coupons, maybe more people would pay attention to them and cut them out or something, and like, connect with them. And I don't know, coupons. I always loved coupon people. They like got their little stacks of coupons.
Stamp person. We had green stamps back in the day. I don't do much coupon. I just go to my farmer's market and whatever looks good, I buy it.
Yeah. Well,
or share.
I know you do a lot more than that. You go foraging and,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I forage. Yeah. Sometimes I have big farms and big gardens, and sometimes I house sit and share a different path for a while, but I always hit the woods, and there's always greens to gather. There's always beautiful things to dig. There's I'm not sure what you're doing there, but it looks ornery.
Yeah, I like to do ornery little elf stuff,
I know elf things, but the mushrooms have really been drawing me for the last few years. I know you're really into them, and I'm hoping we'll do all that Go Nuts workshop with all the, native and wonderful nuts that we can harvest and the nutrition.
Yeah, we should definitely have like a squirrel friend party, Get a bunch of squirrels. Get together in some oak tree or something, and yeah.
Well, we got walnuts, hickories, hazelnuts. I mean, there's a plethora in the eastern deciduous forest, so pretty nut rich. There's a lot of nuts out there.
So right now you're down in Costa Rica just to be a nut. What kind of nuts grow right around where you are? Coconut?
Oh yeah, there's coconut. There's so many fruits. I mean, it's a lot of fun. There's actually walnuts right across the river. They're a type of different species, but same genus, juglans. And they cut them out for wood too. It's a beautiful
Nice
wood.
dense,
And the
yeah.
nuts. So coconut's a big one. Just not coconut oil, which we all like as far as a healthy, nutritious, safe oil to use, and it's how it's processed. So there's many kinds of coconuts. There's the small ones that they roast. Petit Bailly right now is in season, and they're a tiny coconut, kind of like what's on the Cahoon palm. And they roast them on the streets and boil them kind of like a potato, and then people peel them apart and eat them. They're starchy. And then they use the peeps, to have, coconut water at a certain stage. And then there's the coconut. It's wild. 3 years ago, we did a couple plant walks down in Uvita, and I went to the Coconut Man, and I forget what it's actually called now, but it's on one of my YouTube things that you can check out sometime. But it's a sponge. Oh, the coconut sponge. And it really is like a sponge. And I had never, that was new to me. So we were like eating this coconut sponge right out of, it was just the coconut as it was sprouting and getting ready to put down his little taproot.
Gotcha.
So we drank the coconut water, we ate the coconut jelly, the coconut sponge, scrape the insides, and and then you can also do your dry coconut. So it's a very incredible, and it's like a charcoal when you dry it too. You can use the hull, the outer shell, fire starter, insulation, and then that coconut is like a little brick, charcoal brick.
Yeah. Wow.
So it's a super utilitarian plant.
Yeah, I love that. So many things.
The palms, people made their roofs out of them for eons. The Cahoon and Belize, particularly, the different type of weaving, and then the sabal, or the kind of palmate palm. They do another type of weaving for those, but they both use them. They use them both.
So where, like, you still see some of the traditional thatching in the area? Is it?
Not a whole lot in Costa Rica. Not as much. Belize for sure. Haven't been to Belize in 2 years, but that's still highly used. Out in the small, campo here, you might see a little, but pretty much not. Costa Rica's changing pretty rapidly.
Yeah. Well, even up here, jumping back up here for a second, it's like Phragmites grass. It's everywhere, and that's what has been used for thatched roofs for, like you said, eons. And it's it's just interesting. It's like, when are these things going to come back into the eons that we're existing in?
Well, a lot of people are looking at alternative fibers that are more sustainable. You've got your Indian hemp. There's all your milkweeds make incredible fibers. I mean, there's great fiber plants. It's the processing.
Mm-hmm.
You got hemp, bigger ones, cattails. Those are a little more reasonable to think of. Yucca. I mean, we have the big agaves here, and they bloom, so it's kind of fun to see that 25, 30-foot tall candelabra coming out of a giant yucca. More like you'd see in Yucatan, but they're very ornamental and planted all over here. It's interesting. Things will grow down in the more sandy, hot, or the drier parts of the Pacific in Costa Rica, but they even grow up into the mountains too. I'm in the mountains right now, not only about 3,000 feet, the Orosi Valley. And then I was just down on the southern Pacific playa above the Osa, the big, massive Osa Peninsula.
Wow.
It's fun.
So how's your Spanish doing? And how's it connecting with the people there? Like, since you've been going down there many times, huh?
over 20-some years, I've been going to Central America, and my Spanish is bad, but
Es mal.
muy malo. But I try, and I practice some. It comes and goes. I try to stay in the present tense, which is good anyway, right? No, be here now. But, if you're kind and grateful, most people work with you. If you're polite, pleases, and thank you. Pregunta, por favor. Can I ask a question, please? And then they stare at you as you go, oh, yeah, what was that word? No.
You're like, ¿Cómo se dice? And you point at something.
Yeah, but that's right. So people work with you. I mean, when I brought students here, we were studying the environment and permaculture. So that's where we got our permaculture certifications mostly, was here in different permaculture farm settings. So we had bilingual people and translators. Our focus was more understanding the environment. Instead of birds in Ohio, it was birds of Central America. Instead of woodland ecology like we had at Hocking, it was rainforest ecology, even in Belize. So our focus has always been more on nature and ecology and the interconnectedness, similarities of peoples worldwide.
Right. Yeah. I know your connection to plants kind of brings you in the realms of ethnobotanical studies and explorations. Are there anything that comes to mind in those areas that you found, ethnobotanically, like a connection between plants and people there, connection between plants and first people there, perhaps where, it's like brought something, or to your mind that's like fascinating or something?
Well, there are indigenous here. There's like 9 different indigenous groups. And in Costa Rica, particularly, like in Belize, we have the different Mayas, the Creole, the East Indians, the Taiwanese. Let's see, I'm missing a group, the Garifuna. So very multicultural in Belize. Here, a lot of Costa Ricans don't want to highlight their indigenous, and they want to assimilate them more into just typical. It's very classist. It's kind of funny, very kind, but very classist. And I think now you're starting to see people highlighting the Barucans and the Talamancans for their skills and their role in early history. But, like everywhere, people have their prejudices and their training. And really, the whiter you are, the higher you are in society here. It's an interesting...
Wow.
It is, yeah. Very Spanish influence, very European influence with all the churches and Catholicism. So they kind of hide the history. This is a coffee valley, and not much of it's organic. There are some organic coffee farms here, but not many. But they do use a non-native species. One native and one non-native species is nitrogen fixers for the coffee fields. Perked, which is this beautiful orange blooming nitrogen fixing. Perked, yeah, it's like bright orange flowering right now. The whole valley and the forest looks orange. You're like going, okay. And it's a bean flower, it's like a 3-leaved big tree. So they coppice it. They plant it throughout all the coffee fields, and then they coppice these big trees so that puts the energy into the roots and the nitrogen fixing. And then a plant called Madre de Cacao, which is mother of the cacao, they also use in the coffee fields or in fence rows, and it's a nitrogen fixer. So people, even in their old traditions, knew. They knew what plants complemented or helped other plants. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, so they've been doing similar systems like that for a long time. That's, like they know. Yeah. People connect to that.
Even though they coffee, and it's not particularly shade grown. So it really is important. Consumers need to know.
Yeah, it helps hold the soil. Like when you're coppicing and putting all that mulched material back down on the ground there too. It's so nitrogen feeding all the plants around it.
Yeah, it helps. It helps. But it is important that people realize that organic, non-GMO, fair trade, all of those things really do matter.
Yeah.
You know, they really do matter.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I mean, it's like you pick up a can of coffee and it says fair trade on it. You pick up a can of coffee, like, do they ever label it like unfair coffee? Like, they don't label it like that, do they? So
no, you have to specifically look out for organic, fair trade, and chocolate too.
You really have to keep an eye on these like key phrases and advertisement campaigns, and then like see how they change over time, even. And it's interesting just knowing the truth, and that's kind of the fun part, this time period. There's so much truth coming up. Everybody can kind of get pretty quick access to researching what does that mean, fair trade. So
season for change, I'm walking down this sacred path again. Oh, I'm gonna lay my stone. Oh, I got my timeline and it's on. I've seen sunny days, sunny times be wasting away among the clouds. The sights I see with you as we travel together through and through. Glad to be with you. Yeah, sacred deep, sacred love, sacred self, sacred bond, alright.
access to researching what does that mean, fair trade. So, I don't know, audio listeners, if you don't know what that means, we definitely encourage you to start there.
Yeah, and actually now the big marketing thing is beyond fair trade. Transparency is a big, fair pay, transparency, getting the people involved in all levels of the businesses so that they're just not the workers. So there's a lot
co-ops and yeah.
So it's important. It's also not being Tico, which is not a negative term here. They call them Ticas and Ticos, is Costa Rican. And so I'm a Tica because I'm a girl and it ends in A. And you're a Tico because you're a boy and it ends in O. That's kind of a male-female of the language.
Is there a non-binary like TK? I know that,
no, I haven't.
I know I've heard there's a lot of, like there's Amiga, I think now. Because there's Amigo, Amiga, and Amige.
There, you hear that, but not very much. Yeah.
Gotcha. So, it's a very genderized language.
It is a very genderized language, but
something romantic
there's a lot
about that.
Kind of fun to know that wherever you go, there's just people, and they're just good people, and they make their personal choices, and it ain't none of my business, and
hey,
they just love it. Yeah. So. It's like fun to know that everywhere you go, people are just people. People have all the same basic needs everywhere. Community, good healthy food, good safe water, education for their kids, work opportunities. We really aren't that different.
I think like, kind of simplified in a way, like I'm kind of feeling this little poetics of it. It's like, all people have a past, a present, and a future. I mean, if you're in that moment and your present is that you're dying, maybe you don't have a future, but like you still have a future. Your spirit does. Like however that goes for you. but like a past, a present, and a future, everybody has it. And that present is so special, like when you're connecting with somebody, because that's like a present moment that you're sharing that will become a past. It's like in the past, it was part of your future. You didn't even know it was going to be there. It's just, yeah.
That's right.
But it's a way, simple way to connect with everybody. You know, everybody's hurting from something in their past or whatever. Everybody's got their burdens. Everybody's got their things that they use to cope with this or that.
Yeah.
And everybody's got their purpose they feel somewhere in there. And, you know, everybody's got that joy they feel somewhere in there. And, you know, it's just a matter of being open to all those things in those present moments and connecting with that empathy, you know.
It's very much so, very much so. I mean, I'm lucky to have a Tika friend and watched her through birthing 2 of her kids, and all the little ones. We just do this little Nina yoga, we call it, you know. So we do a little yoga, a little play, a little art. You know, maybe we'll do it in the park and do tree pose, or if it's raining, we'll do it in the house, and the chihuahuas run all over you. But yeah, it's fun to
downward dog.
Yeah, and we do a lot of puppy and bark, 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 and cow, moo, meow, cow, cat, cow. Gotta have sound effects with kids. But, you know, so getting to know just little kids and their schooling and, you know, what they're thinking about the world is like, well, they're pretty tuned in and turned on. They have, you know, they have all these electronic appliances. They know what's going on in the world. It's kind of scary, but it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's like you were mentioning, kids like to make the animal sounds, and I got stuck there for a second. I was like, I like to make animal sounds. Like, you know, I'll be out talking to the crows or something, like crowing back at them or something. And, you know, I think that's kind of a cool thing. Kids do like to make animal sounds because they are little animals. And there's something that like happens along the way for a lot of people where that animal side of speaking, like, I don't know, like I'm an animal and I'm making these sounds right now and I'm making words, but there's more to it than just like a mathematical letter code going over to your ears. It's a animal sound. And yeah, I love sounds and the way that can be communicated through that. I got really deep into flamenco music for a while because it was just this place of guttural animal, like masculine, like sensual feeling, like deep places that men don't express themselves that much anymore. And the rhythm of it, all of it is like not so like locked in. It's just a really open platform of music and expression. And it's very animalistic to me. It's almost like you can take one word like the road Camino and just be like Camino, and it's like it does so much more than just saying the road.
And then you walk that road. Yeah. No, it is. I mean, I live alone, and mostly I've lived alone most of my life. And so I do, you know, I garden a lot, or I'm in the woods, but I'll sit. And if I have my cats hiking with me or my dog, you know, we meow and groan and moan and talk as we hike, you know, we chat in human words, but also their language. And then I'll just sit on a log and listen for the birds and try to replicate their song. And they come in to say, who's this new person in the neighborhood? Not quite got it right, but she's interesting. And I'm down in Uvita in the yoga studio, trying to get up around 4 so I can see that Southern Cross, which is so amazing. That's a magic time. The just peeps of the birds starting to come to life, and then it's a cacophony or it's a sonic sonnet. It's crazy. I mean, like 500 sonic sonnet. Lord parrots come screaming overhead from 3 or 4 bird calls to ba-ba, here we are. And I think it wakes up the plant world going, okay, here it comes. And the sun's not even up yet. And then the light comes. And then the scarlet macaws come. And then in the dusk, there's the We had a modeled owl, so he'd be there every morning, and I'd be out there hooting to him, and my friends going, I hear you down there. Is that the owl or is that you?
It's one of you,
But,
or is it both of you? What you guys been talking about? Having more?
Oh, in the house. Oh, man, they are.
The who?
They are howler monkeys.
Howler monkeys. Oh.
I have them on some YouTube things, but I'll send you a couple clippings of them.
Yeah, maybe we'll dub them, the sound of them into this episode, just to like let people howl out on the end of it here.
Yeah, it's
they get loud, huh? Deep.
They sound like a lion. First time I heard them was in Guatemala in Tikal. And the other woman I was sharing a room with, we just sat up and looked around, and what the hell was that? And it was like deep in the jungle. We're going, do they have lions here? It was the howlers. Yeah, they are pretty crazy. So they're one of the communities that are monos that are here. And the white-faced capuchins. And Costa Rica has all 5 monkeys. You don't see them all. But
what are the 5
often.
Monkeys? It sounds like a recipe or something like that.
Used to be a test question, but I don't have to do tests anymore. Howlers, capuchins, squirrels, squirrel monkeys. Oh my God, that's only 4. I'm forgetting somebody. I'll think of him or her. Yeah, there's one more. So it's pretty cool.
And then Rebecca Wood, the 5th monkey.
The 5th monkey. Now there's him on me. He has a really long tail. Then there's 2 kinds of sloths here. And a lot of rodent-like animals, agoutis and just strange possum-like creatures and raccoons kind of creatures.
Cool.
But wild pigs, depending on where you're at. Don't want to mess with those.
Jaguars, you have any of those come up, like hang out in your yard?
All the cats here. You know, the jaguarundi, the ocelot, the mountain lion, the jaguar. Yeah, they're here. Nice. And in Belize. Yeah. You don't see them a lot, but you'll see people hear them, in the denser forests and see their tracks and get them on trail cams. And so same as kind of we do there for bobcats and bears. Is, ooh, look who just came by. Or tapirs. We have tapirs. Tapirs, mountain pigs, they call them. They're cool. They look kind of like a small hippopotamus.
Huh. So they're not that fuzzy. They're not like...
No, they're not feathery. And they kind of... Mountain cows, they live out in the deep forest and along streams. But you'll see their big old odd hoofy prints, when you're down by the river.
So,
yeah.
So one thing I wanted to talk with you about, I guess I know I wanted to open up to talk about passion flowers, because I know we're real passionate, and there's been this beautiful passion flower picture behind you this whole time while we've been talking, and that's the tropical passiflora that's on the picture there. Which is different than the one I'm more familiar with up here, which is funny because more people are more familiar with the tropical one, I kind of think, anyway.
There's just one in our, biome, the Passiflora incarnata. And, well, actually, there's 2. I stand corrected again, because we have the lutea, the yellow Passiflora, in our hardwoods, too. Yet more uncommon, and I don't even know if it's used for medicine. Yeah, the Passiflora incarnata is. There's about 5 different passion flowers here. Some purple ones, some little ones, and then you can get some big ones with flowers the size of your hands, the grenadilla, which is an edible, yummy fruit. and the maracuya, which is a type of fruit, that is like our maypop, from our passion flower, but these are tasty and they're really it kind of looks like tapioca or fish egg in there, but they're
Gooey,
very
yummy.
tart. They're yummy, yeah. They're really healthy for you. So that's a lot of fun.
They get those little crunchy seeds in them.
Yeah, they have crunchy seeds inside the slurpy wurpy gelatinous stuff.
It's amazing. There's textures of how foods present themselves like that. Just perfect.
Yeah, it is. And they're very refreshing. I was hoping to go to an herb workshop last Sunday, but our plans changed and I didn't get to go to Ed's New Dawn Center down near San Isidro. But he's always doing great how to grow gardens in the tropics. And he's a naturopath from the States who moved down there many years ago, married to Tika, and has a organic garden produce. He makes a lot of the typical medicines and sells them. Wrote the book, Costa Rican Medicinal Plants.
Cool. So, check that out.
Yeah, it's a small little book, but a good book. And some of our friends are in there, Pan American friends. So,
nice.
Yeah, that's cool. He's a real sweetheart. So is his wife. Yeah, we're going to go to the Ark Herb Farm in a couple of weeks and tour their gardens just for fun. They're just amazing.
The Ark.
And then have a little table lunch. Yummy.
Fun. That sounds
whatever's ready that day.
Love that.
There's the formal experiences you can do. There's coffee, finca farms, tours. And then there's just the take a walk and look around and go, wow. Like Orosi is like the city of roses. There's roses everywhere. And hydrangeas, the big purple, beautiful hydrangea. You get calla lilies up into the mountains in the cloud forest, just lining the roads and the calla lilies and hydrangeas. And you're like going, this is wild.
Yeah.
Not bushy plants, like jungle plants, but plants that Costa Rica is probably one of the biggest exporters of floral products.
Interesting.
And not organic. Not a whole lot of organic in Costa Rica.
Like shipping up to like the big box stores to have their tropical foliage sales.
Streets, landscape, yeah. You see big industrial farms here with it. It's one of those conundrums. There's many things I love about Costa Rica, just like everywhere. Conundrum about Ohio. I still live in Ohio politically, but I live in a little liberal enclave, so that helps. But Costa Rica is second to China in the use of glyphosates.
What?
That's crazy.
That little place compared to that big place.
Yeah, the second in the world because we produce so much here. Piñas. When you buy pineapple at home, buy it organic. It makes a big difference. Coffee, buy it. It makes a big difference. Palm oil. Don't buy palm oil. Palm oil is a crappy, horrible industrial product. There's one or two organic palm oil companies, but not many. It used to be the big mega companies, United Fruit and all of that. Great book. I think we used it one time for environmental issues class. Your biodiversity for breakfast, or what your lunch cost wildlife. There's all sorts of, but that's a great.
What your lunch cost wildlife. That phrase right there. I mean, that's
an old webbing tool that we used to use. But Biodiversity for Breakfast is a small, easy to read book, and it tells you about the history of Costa Rica and some of your tropical countries and the big companies coming in and starting, the palm oils, the piñas, the coconuts, the bananas. And, it isn't a pretty story.
Yeah.
Now we're facing, although they are, saving more and more land and jungle and rehabbing it and regenerative agriculture. So there's all the good too. But, cattle, people
coming along eating it. Yep.
Jungle, not cattle. So, I mean, I have nothing against people who eat meat or people who want to raise cows, but there's a sustainable, small scale, input equals output kind of approach. And, animals can add positive things to a landscape, but usually not on a large scale, not when it's taken up, rainforest.
Right. Eating the rainforest and washing soil off hillsides or something. And
Yeah. The soils are crazy. Yeah. So what's been cooking up there in Indiana for you?
Oh, just really all kinds of things. I've been just wrapped up picking a bunch of juniper berries for some people.
Right.
I'm exploring starting to package my dried herbs again and have fun marketing those, just so you all know if you want some. That's a way to support the Wake the Farm Up podcast too,
Yeah, I'd like to
So
get
that's
some
been
and try
fun.
hydrosol with them. That'd be fun.
Okay. I have a pretty good sized stand of scented geranium out there in my little greenhouse. I know that'd be fun to put. I love the way that smells, hydrosoled.
Oh, me too. It's one of my favorites, and it's always one that goes popular with classes.
Nice.
But it's always bergamot. Bergamot's one of my wild favorites. Monarda fistulosa. Oh God, incredible. And any of your herbs too.
So
mints are fine. Oregano. I have to be careful. It's hot, but good.
So I'm gonna just like give us a little topic prompt. Maybe another time it'd be really fun to talk with you again, and maybe we could even do a more in-depth kind of focus for a half hour or something on hydrosols.
Oh, that'd be great. Have the still, so you can see it and everything. And
I'll make sure these are all lined up so we can get video like of the still and.
Yeah. I've got some videos of the still. They're on YouTube and Facebook. However you find this crap again.
Yeah.
Once it's hard to find. I did find some of yours. Did you ever find mine?
Yeah, Hopewood. YouTube. I think it's Hopewood Health.
Yeah, with my name.
Let's look at.
And it's pretty corny. I mean, they're not the best videos. Some are just walking through the woods, but some are actually the hydrosol still. So who knows? It takes me a while to find myself sometimes.
Yeah, I'm gonna have it right there in the footnotes. It's Hopewood Health, Hopewood Holistic Health.com. You can link there into the website and connect to the YouTube channel.
You can get it on the website. Yeah,
this one was one of my favorite ones. It was like a fairly quick, short one, but it was called the Ode to Hydrastis.
Yes, I love it too.
And
that's great.
Yeah, it's at Hopewood Health.
Okay, at Hopewood Health. Ode to Hydrastis, that takes us over to United Plant Savers and Paul Strauss. And Paul was such a big part of the early classes at Hocking College. And, that green spark, taking all my classes to him and spending a day for one class and the weekend for the foraging class. And he can't help but to inspire people because his whole he's done so much with the Green Corridor and preserving land in the breadbasket of Ford Central now in Southern Ohio. You're in another one. The Smokies are another one, but we're like the second, third most diverse biome on the planet next to rainforests and coral reefs.
Yeah, down there in Meigs County. And
that's pretty astounding.
It really is.
It's where, environments clash. It's great. The dendritic outwash of all the Appalachian mountains to hills and, then the different crazy weather patterns that come through. And the deciduous hardwoods a magical place.
Like all the little microclimates, like 1 acre could have 3 creeks and 3 hills and, many other places. An acre would just be like one aspect of a side of a mountain or something, there. It's like you have all these miniature mountains everywhere.
I know. It makes for really secret stuff.
Yeah, texture. And that's when you get the still out.
I've only done hydrosols, but there's a lot of stills making all sorts of good stuff down there.
Yeah.
And now it's,
Good medicine.
legal. Mm-hmm. And, Kelly Sauber has his big distillation project there in Athens. And how many microbreweries? I don't know. You can't shake a stick at how many anymore. But
yeah,
the people doing some fun stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we could even do hydrosols and tinctures and even talk about what else we can do with stuff that there's people who are distilling, like how that can be used for medicine. And I love that idea.
Yeah.
But
I think that'd be
But yeah,
I'm really...
I'm gonna I want to let you get going here for today.
Yeah.
We've been going for about 45 minutes.
Really, correct?
Yeah. So yeah, I really appreciate you. Appreciate your contribution to maintaining ground with me. This is authentic. I think some of the time I thought we were just having one of our regular conversations, and I'd remember oh yeah, we're having a conversation that we're sharing with people. This is cool.
I know, that's amazing. I do this with Dave Hawkins too at Cedar. I always want to say Cedar Lane Farm. And Dave's an amazing herbalist in Parkersburg, West Virginia. And that's who I did some of my clinical work with. And, we're all we're the elders. We're starting to phase out a little bit. I don't know how I got to be an elder, but it happened. And he's had Mother Earth Foods, one of the first organic food stores in that region for, is it his 50th year now? I think 45 or 50 years. Crazy. But we do a couple workshops a year out there, and maybe that's where we'll do our Go Nuts workshop, or maybe that's where we'll do it at United Plant Savers, who knows. But I'm real excited about that one, and having you guys come down and share all your expertise, because you've surpassed me in so many ways.
Hey, that's how we want a forest to grow, right? We don't want grassroots organization to stay grass forever. I always think about it. I feel like I'm just some little wildflower trying to nurture some giant trees to grow over top of me. I'm like a little nitrogen fixer, just trying to get something started there. That's how, it's fun to think about those things, personify our own mental places to the aspects of different plants and systems and roles.
I think we're smarter too with compassionate dying and compassionate death, and people being able to be composted and taking it seriously. I mean, why wouldn't you want to be, with no chemicals and of course in a healthy way for a community? But it makes good sense. Mm-hmm. I mean, it just good, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, back we go. So I'm glad to see all of those new movements happening. It's just the whole extension of the circle.
Growing.
Growing.
New tree rings.
Becoming growing. Yeah. Well, we'll set our date and topics for the next go round. But it's always a joy. Makes me smile. Makes my heart feel good.
Yeah. Thank you. Wake the farm up.
Wake the farm up, and then tell me how to press to turn it off, because.
Yeah, I think.
Let's see what the day brings.
The wise ones, they say the owls are so wise, but they can't remember who did it. They know everything, but they're like, who did that? And they just fluff their feathers, and then they go out I'm gonna get some mice, cough them up. You ever get into owl cough balls and digging? Yeah. That's something interesting. How did they collect that many for elementary schools anyway? That's an interesting job occupation somebody could get into. Right? It's I collect owl pellets for elementary students.
Pellets for Elfdripped.
Are they really made, or do they?
Wake the farm up.
Yeah, so
Wake the
I've explored your
That's
your
awesome.
SoundCloud. You know, you like that the SoundCloud there. Like you got some cool songs recorded. Like yeah, look for it. You got your guitar on you. Dude? You got to pull in a little cut, like maybe a couple bars. You know.
Yeah, man.
Wake
Sure.
the
Get on it.
Yeah.
We.
Duh.
Let me just get this light on.
Farm. Yo. We're about to get shiny. We're shiny. You know, because when we get shiny, we be cutting it up and we know how to do it on the tiny. We got bars. We got bars.
We got bars for days.
For days and days.
We got a bars for days, and we like to blaze. Just inhale, exhale, and all shall remain.
We walk in the haze.
We're walking through the haze of the foggy mountainside ways.
Walk in the haze. Haze is
Walking in the misty morning dew.
so true. So true. So true. So
I would be having so much fun with that setup.
Yo, wake the farm up. Check it.
All right, so what are we singing about today, ladies and gentlemen?
Hey, do we get to give the prompt?
Oh, I could do that. Yeah, why not? Un momento, por favor.
When I was an alien, cultures weren't just opinions. So we went and found another way. We went and found another way.
Seems I'm rotating around all this town, yeah, of these trees. Every morning I wake, yeah, to go on this path I do believe. Yeah, wake up in the morning getting visited in my tree now, yeah. By the birds, squirrels, yeah, my eternal family. Oh, speak to me your tune, where your heart is, I am listening. Sweet remedies of this time we all reminisce. I love you.
Yeah, sweet remedy of our times. Yeah. Yeah, man, music.
I love improv music, dude.
They love it. They love that Carl shine. I feel like, we all got a little rainbow in our soul, and sometimes we need to shine it up, and we do that for each other in so many ways. And that's the remedy of our, like, that sweetness of the remedy of our time. That's sweetness of the remedy of it. Sweet. Sweet
Memories of a time softly spoken.
Yeah.
Into our hearts, we are so open. Like the depths of the seas, or topography of valleys and the tributaries from the springs that feed our great rivers and oceans. Yes, we flow. Yes, we breathe.
Yes, we paddle. We paddle, we flow. We go upstream, we go downstream. We pole. We troll.
Yeah, it's good.
We pay the toll. But
man, I love
what we need is more human connection. More things like that can bring us to our heart. The heart erection to bring us up out of a soggy day. Things that can bring us up in a whole new way. Spitting our poetry in the way that we say. A heart to a heart. No, that's our art. We keep it going with the rhythm of the earth. The drip, drop, but coming down from the rain. Then the hits the tin down to the bend to the top. We never stop. It's a continual flow. I'm sorry if you're just here for the party. You see, we on a lifetime safari. And we're growing up on our own way. And we growing our mind, and it's a new day. Yeah. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else,
Wake the farm up.
let's give a shout out. Shout out to our boy Carl Shine.
Yeah, what's up? I love it.
Like the digi bang bang ding. That's like the diggy boom back. That's what you want to do when you go out back and you're just chilling. You want to get up and start grilling. What? Chick to the rock.
Gotta raise it up. Gotta raise it up. Gotta raise it up. Gotta raise it up.
Raise it. Raise up, cool cat, cool. Boop, 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 boop.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah. What's up going on? We wake.
Oh yeah, I'm way into mushrooms. Oh my god, I love to forage.
She's a forager.
Like, yeah, so many people are getting their mushrooms from laboratories, which I think is cool that they're like providing that for all those people, but foraging them and like, yeah.
That's where the real nutrition is.
Yeah, I think the brain neuron connectors too. They always talk about these mushrooms being good for our brain neurons and stuff, and like getting us in, healthy brain neurons into our old age and like all these different things. I think that's
right.
Ultimately setting us into the brain frequency of nature.
Thank you.
Nature
Right.
flow. Yeah. You're welcome.
No, I'm all in relationship of mushrooms to the rest of the universe.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about that. How's that feel?
It feels pretty big sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, I still get that's what she said from you.
That's what she said?
I was looking at Carl.
I'm not Scott. I don't think with my penis all the time. I flip that switch off a lot.
You're thinking about mushrooms and penises? Like, they kind of have similar shape.
I know.
Well, a lot of mushrooms look like penises, so.
Yeah, there's even like, I know there's the little gray morels around here. The locals by me call them peckerheads. And there's
that's what Earth said.
Yeah, and then there's those stinkhorns. They're called like devil's peckers because they look like little red dog penises.
Yeah, we just call them dark peckers.
Dark peckers.
They look like Neapolitan ice cream. They're like white, brown, and pink.
Yeah, it's pretty fascinating. I think it's even coded in the Bible, like we're made like our creators. So like I sometimes wonder if we were like made by mushrooms, and it makes sense.
It kind of does.
We are the mushroom people.
I am a mushroom person.
We are the water people and the mushroom people. Yes.
Mm-hmm. We are the people mushrooms. We are the people mushrooms. Like,
we are pupils of the mushroom.
Pupils. Great teacher. Please give me the golden lesson.
Please give me the lesson in which my monkey brain can comprehend the things. Whatever they may be.
I come from the shelf elf mushroom people.
Elf on a shelf. But he ain't reading books by himself. No.
Not in that bracket. Yeah, he's not in that bracket.
He's got friends up there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Witch's butter hang out with that elf, you know. Or the wood ears are going to be hearing about that. You know, we don't want no dryad saddles that are like overgrown mastodon saddles. You know, we want little cute little saddles.
They taste better when they're cute and little.
Cute little.
Yeah, Jesus, Solomon, way to grow that 110-pound pumpkin, you freak.
Yeah, I think it is in the Book of Solomon. Don't they talk about morel mushrooms and oysters and lion's mane and stuff? But they like call it something different. Like
they call it the Tower of Penis.
Right, and they just like babble on about it for like pages and pages. And it's amazing. All these amazing
the sages.
It's like sages. They got more bars than anyone.
And they're barking. Bark!
Got to memorize to the code number.
Memorized to the Latin script. Oh, so what are you speaking in today? Let me see your credentials. Well, all right.
Here's my Hogwarts.
Oh, your dimension is quite what it is, so that's cool.
I went to Hogwarts too. Yeah.
I went to Hogwarts too, man. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I was in a special program.
I woke up one day and Gandalf was Willie Nelson. It was great.
Wow. Those are the best mornings, you know? Especially if it's like a Tuesday or a Wednesday. Like, you know?
I'm Willie. You need a joint? And I was like, hell yeah, peace and duties forever.
Yeah, that's the kind of blanket you want to just roll Gandalf up in, you know, and then like just see those little ships of mist floating away from the tips of
little ships on the shoreline, very free and easy,
floating right down into the vines that are hanging over the river. You know that spot where
I've been on the.
You've been by that spot about that. There's some of them box elder maples. They're down there, and then all the little particles branch off of them. And you don't want to, like right around that area at a certain time. You don't want to avoid that
because the
ovoids. They're ovular on top, you know. They almost look like little nipples all over the ground.
Right.
Yeah, they like that.
And the fucking
river.
stink bugs are crazy.
Oh, what do you think about that
Those,
stink?
not
Do
the
you
stink
like
bugs,
that?
the little buggies. Those little buggies, man. No, I don't even know what's. When it comes to bugs, I don't know what's actually natural and what's not.
Are you talking about like the little grubs that are wiggling around
those
inside them?
Little.
They eat
those
them.
Little black and red. There's like thousands.
The box elder bugs.
Box elder bugs.
Yeah,
duh.
They love people's houses. Yeah, they love houses and stuff, right? Like hanging out by the door on the south side.
Yeah, we had box elders south facing, and they were freaking crazy. Box elder bugs. Yep.
Yeah. Let's think about I mean, it's amazing all these little things in nature when they do crazy things that make you like have a, you know, reaction. Like, I don't want that in my bed. I don't want 500. I didn't. You guys are paying rent. Come on, why are you 500 of you coming and crawling around in my bed? So you just like.
Did you bring money?
It's like, I mean,
did you bring food?
Vacuuming them all up. Like, yeah, I'm going to put them in this vacuum bag and they can all snuggle up together. And, you know, I imagine they're having a great time, but.
Sneezing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just moved a bunch of stuff out of the basement and there was those big old centipedes. And I was like, we'll keep them.
Yeah, count their legs. I mean, you never know. You might get snowed in and you just like need something to do. It's like good.
Yeah, but I like the stink bugs because they always visit in the winter. There's always one or two.
Mm-hmm.
I love the sound of them because they're like
in the dark.
It's like, oh, that's a stink bug. I know that for sure.
Yeah, I like beatboxing for them. If you catch one and you flip it over like on the table in front of you, and then you start beatboxing like
break dancing.
They do some cool breakdance moves. They do spins. They do flips. They'll even like do this little pop, and sometimes they'll land back on their back. Sometimes they'll land on their feet.
Yeah,
I think they love it most of the time. You know, like I imagine, like when I was 8, if I would have done it, I might have done it for like 3 hours to one bug, and that might have been a little bit of a long session.
Too much. Yeah.
Now that I'm older, I can train them, you know, in like little spurts, and then eventually work them up to the 1.5-hour performances.
Right, where they need to acclimate to your energy and what you're about to have fun doing. Right. No, I get that 100%.
Yeah, set them on like a thawed out frozen blackberry, and they'll just sit on it like, oh, okay, that's cool. I'll break dance for you again.
Yeah.
It's like there's little gifts and
I waxed the blueberry floor for you. Get your dance on, my dude. He like whips them out of the backpack on underneath his wings. You know, I got this.
Look, there he goes. Break it down like a stink bug. Break it
I'm
down.
A stink bug. Stink bug.
I stink. Therefore, I am. It
seems I was in a place, they saw me smelly little Nick, and I had to get out of that trace because I got myself an Andy sheet, and I was all like, hey man, Elf, come with me. He said, here's the blueberry, little ice coat, waxing up the floor for your dancing shows. It's gonna be all good, little stink bug. Break dance. That's the love.
A fun little stink bug hug.
Stink bug jam.
Yeah. That's stanky.
I'm a stink bug and I like to rap.
Stinky bug, what you gonna do? Stinky bug, what you gonna do? You're gonna stink, you're gonna stink, you're gonna stink.
Have you ever heard of essential oils?
No, I'm a stink bug. I don't want to smell good. I want to stink. That's how I get to
I got my stink foot. You know, I got that stink foot.
And I got 6 of them.
I got fucking 6 of them. Yeah.
6-string soul.
Yep.
Yeah, that thing's got some soul in front of you there. But yeah, I'll let you get back to the live concert that you were in the middle of doing before you started to connect with me into this time warp zone of the mushroom ship elf tribe flowing around everywhere with the wee people with energy of elves that are ever evolving and, needing to tune in with fellow, adventurers and explorers of the present moment. I fell down in a deep, deep, deep hole. It was deep, it was deep, it was deeper than I could ever know. Can't get to the bottom. The bottom ain't been here. Been falling again. I got to the bottom of the hole. I got to the bottom of the hole. I looked up, saw a bright light, and I thought, hey, maybe I can get there. I might go. I'm not falling no more. No, I hit the bottom out that door. My Uncle Charlie told me to. He said he fell down, he knew what to do. So I did it just the same. I got my ass up. But just like that coffee cup, I fell in another hole. It was bottomless, but it sounds so good. I just knew this where I'm supposed to be, down where the echo come around my brain. Echo come around. Echo come around my brain. Echo come around my brain. Echo come around my brain. Echo come around.
I'm gonna come around now.
My time on the mountain, end me up in a deep dark hole. That's all fine, 'cause I'm a seed all growing to a vine.
And never time to keep on explore.
That's just
Hey! So all I'm trying to say, Mama, is come on back.
Yeah. Show me the way. I love you.
farm.
Yes, nature.
And a big thank you to Ande the Elf for going around and making it happen, pulling all of these microbiomes and microbes and symbiotic microorganisms from around the universe all into one spot so we can all culturally integrate and synthesize. Thank you so much, Ande the Elf.
Yeah, it really it is. You know, it's so beautiful. It's just bringing, you know, voice to, you know, nature has so much to speak about. You know, there's like if we gave everything a vote or a, you know, a voice in the room, you know, who's given
Like every mushroom?
Yeah, like who's given funding to Lion's Mane mushroom, because people are knowing about it more now because of advertisement, because of its amazing benefits and connections to people, right? But there's all these other like plants and organisms and mushroom spores floating around us that haven't even been given names. And if we want to give them names, that's fine, whatever, it doesn't matter. But they're like, they exist, right? They're real. They're there, whether we've acknowledged them or not. It's not like we get to discover them. They're there. It's like that.
Correct.
And the way that can just like integrate into our thinking of existence in correlation to it, like they could all have their little say in what's going on. And if you can get yourself into flow with nature and the way the greater ecosystem is working and make choices that move in that direction, what's coming into your body, your temple, your structure, your organic animal body, this like suit that these highly developed brains can function and live in and enjoy the technologies and, you know, fruits of the technology of civilization. And
do you think she made us, Ande?
Do you think who made us?
Gaia, the biosphere. Do you think that she made us, or do you think the aliens made us?
Well, check this out. You know, it's kind of like from a biological creation kind of concept. The way I see it is that there was a loophole on the planet of a one-celled organism of life, and it replicated, and it could form and create, you know, from little solar panels, like life. And then structure came, you know, so mushrooms, spores can travel through outer space. So this is where creation theory from a biological level becomes cosmological, you know, like you can see the big scale of the cosmos in that.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes from a biological out into an extraterrestrial creation kind of concept. And you can even see a lot of that reflection in, you know, ancient codex, you know, the concept of, you know, we are made in the image of our creator. And it's amazing how many mushrooms look a lot like a human brain, or, you know, how our nervous system, you know, if it was just stripped down and that's all you were looking at, that would be a, you know, very mushroom looking like thing. And then you even have in our language terms like matter coming from mother, and, you know, like the substance of stuff. And then you have pattern coming from like father. And it's like, you know, you have these two kind of dynamics, matter and pattern, and you put them together. And then you have this like third entity, which is batter, you know, the batter of life, you know, that which will, you know, come into structure and form given by this cosmos, you know, like extraterrestrial entity to this earthen material, if that makes sense.
Oh, it does. That's beautifully said.
What do? You got some cereal there snarfing? I'm trying to cut in it.
No, I was clinking on my ring.
Got you. You got a ringtone.
Yeah. I got one for you.
Easy.
In the beginning, there was nothing. And rocketing through that timeless void of infinite nothing was a ball of molten plasma, pure in its essence, destined one day to become the Mother Gaia. And this era was known as the hedonistic eon. And then in late hedonistic eon, the entity that was one day to become Mother Gaia experienced heavy meteor bombardment. At this point in time, she transformed from a ball of pure energy plasma into a ball of magma. And this is the moment when our second ancestor was introduced, fire and earth, rocketing on its infinite ballet through a timeless void. Then the end of the hedonistic eon is marked by a collision with a colossal titan, a comet of monumental proportion. And this is the beginning of what is known as the Proterozoic eon. And in the Proterozoic eon, that was created in this cataclysmic collision, the nature of the being to become Gaia was radically transformed. The cradle of oceans and the spinal column of mountains came from the cataclysmic collision that shook the very fabric of the universe. And in that bowl, the water of the Titan comet that was collided flowed. And it was stirred by the moon. And in that stirring, single-cell organisms, proto-algae, absorbed the carbons and dioxides and chemicals in the atmosphere and produced the great oxygenation event, at which point earth, fire, water, and air were all in abundance. And the stage for this ballet of life was set.
Yo, wake the farm up. Wake the farm up.
When it was about the time that the stage lit up, that's when the note dropped in and everything was opened up. And everything came through clear like a root down to here underneath there where the base elves live. They come out
Into mushrooms. Oh my god, I love to forage. Into mushrooms. Oh my god, I love to forage.
Planet Earth. Concrete jungle, now mushroom for a fungi. I need trees, soil, water, and a dead guy. Organismic web, watch my spores fly. We're everywhere, so many to identify. Under floors, I'm teaming up. Decomposing matter, I'm feeding them. Eating that oil, I'm cleaning up. Get hypey for lifey, mycelium. Mycelium, mycelium, mycelium. Mycelium, mycelium, fungi. Mycelium, mycelium, mycelium. Mycelium, the fungus among us. Mycelium, mycelium, mycelium. Mycelium, mycelium, fungi.
I'm thrilled to the gills.
Put it on mofongo, boricua to Congo. Tap caps like they're bongos. I'm liking that lichen. The cell made of chitin. I'm Anita. I frighten psilocybin enlightens. One of the phylum Rishi Chugaboli. Yo, watch your feet. That's Basidio, my seed. Fungi prevail. Polypore to heal our ails. Trinities versicolor. That's that turkey tail. Mycelium, mycelium, mycelium.
for the children to live and thrive.
They can even glow bioluminescent. I'm searching, the mushrooms are working. I lift up a log, the mushrooms are talking. Among us.
Yeah, mushroom cap that.
Into mushrooms. Oh my god, I love to forage.